Hello and namaste, friend. Welcome back to our channel and another interesting topic. Have you ever experienced slowness in internet speed or the connection that keeps dropping? I'm sure you and we all of us, right? Do you want to know how to diagnose those problems? How to improve our connections? How can we troubleshoot the problem related to the slowness of the internet? In today's video, we will explore the essential tool for the network troubleshooting, which is ping. We will explain what is a ping, how it works, how to use it to test and troubleshoot the network connectivity. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced IT professional, this video is for you. So let's dive and discover the power of the ping. How can we use this power to find out the problem area? So let's start. So what is ping? Ping is a command line utility which help us to test the network connectivity. Ping was basically invented in 1983 by a scientist called Mike Muuss. He named this tool after the sound that sonar makes when it detects an object. So when sonar detects an object, it makes a sound, right? And that basis on that it was researched. So ping basically help you to test the connectivity from the source to the destination, right? And it used in an ICMP protocol to test that, right? It doesn't only give you the test connectivity, it also give you the latency and packet loss from the source to the destination. So let's say you are pinging from source to the destination. It is giving you the information that how much time it takes to reach, right? It also give you the packet loss, that how many packet you lost, right? So we discussed it use the ICMP protocol. Then what is this ICMP overall, right? So what is this ICMP, right? So ICMP stands for Internet Control Message Protocol. There are several different type of ICMP message, including a echo request reply used by ping. So what ping use is the echo request and echo reply. We will get into detail how does it work, right? Also, it use the destination unreachable and then time to live exceed and others. We will explain some of these in detail, right? So now let's error means, right? So we were talking about the ICMP unreachable, we were talking about the request timeout and all. So what is the request timeout? So the request timeout mean is that when you send a ping message from a source to a server or device which is you know far away or near to you, ping message wait for certain time period before it announce that the destination is not reachable, right? So request timeout is basically indicating that there is no response coming from the server, right? Now there could be a multiple reason of it, but few of the reason is that either the server or device is down, or there is a problem in the reachability of the server, or there is some firewall restriction which is dropping your ICMP request traffic, right? Now, next what we have is the destination host unreachable. So what is the destination host unreachable error mean? So the destination host unreachable error mean is that it is indicating the device sending the message couldn't reach to the intended destination, which can be a device or server, right? So for an example, if you are trying to access the google.com and you ping that google.com, if you are getting the message error is in a destination host unreachable, that means to say you are having somewhere your routing problem or the misconfiguration. You don't have a connectivity to the destination, right? Now, ping request would not find the host. So this error message it specifically indicate, as the name is itself explained, that ping request could not find the host. That means to say either the host name which you entered is wrong, or there is the problem in the DNS resolution. So when you do the, let's say you do the XYZ or AMP.com while you are trying to ping the AMP.com, if the AMP.com doesn't exist, that means to say DNS would not able to resolve, and then of course at the end of the you will get this message that DNS request could not find a, right? In addition, if you are not able to reach to your DNS server itself, and you are trying to ping the google.com or microsoft.com, at the end of the your DNS not reachable, that means to say you are not able to resolve it, right? You are not able to get the IP address. Since you understand the routing or the network don't understand the host name, it understands the IP address, right? So if you are your system is not able to resolve the name to IP, then of course you will get this kind of error message. So if you got the error ping request could not find host, simply look on your DNS reachability, look on the is that the URL which you are trying to ping is correct or not, right? Next, what we have is the time to live exceed. So what does it mean by the time to live exceed? Is that, as the name explained itself, is the life of the packet. There's always a packet life, right? So that's what we talked about, the TTL, time to live, right? So if you got the time to live exceed error, that is indicating the packet has was not able to reach to the destination before the TTL value has been expired, right? Exceed, right? So the destination is beyond the TTL value what is being coded into the packet, right? So that basically works based on a hop and how far your destination is, right? So that value should be computable accordingly, right? So there could be the multiple reason of it. That can be one of the reason is that routing itself is the incorrect, right? Or the destination is long path away than the what you coded into your packet as an TTL value, right? So I have explained the TTL value of latency in my another video, which is where I mentioned that how trace out works, right? So if you want to get detail of that, what is the TTL, how does that work on the network, what is a hop, what is the latency, you please go ahead to check out that video. I will put the link into the description below, right? So now we understood so far is the request timeout, we understood the destination host unreachable, we understood the pinging request could not find out, we understood the time to live exceed. Now let's move that how does the ping work, right? So far we understood that it used the ICMP, there are a couple of error, it used the echo request and echo response to work the ping. But now let's get into the some of the scenario where we will show you in the example, okay? So how does it work? So let's say in a scenario where I have a two PC, okay, PC1 and PC2. That is where first PC is having the IP address is in a 192.168.1.1. Okay? Now, next PC, which is into the same LAN, right, is having 192.168.1.2, right? So what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to demonstrate that how the thing will work in this scenario, right? So the first laptop or the PC, which is having a 192.168.1.1, will initiate the ping request to the destination PC. In this scenario, the IP address of that PC is a 192.168.1.2, right? And that will send the ICMP request, right? So what it will send? It will send the ICMP request, and that ICMP request will be received by the destination, right? Which is 192.168.1.2. Now, as soon as that received, it will do the ICMP reply or echo reply. So the first packet which is being sent by the source, in this case 192.168.1.1 to the 1.2, is the echo request, ICMP request slash echo request, right? Now, the reply when it is sending, it will send the ICMP response, or we can say the echo response. So this thing basically use the ICMP protocol, and it used the two messages of it, echo request and echo reply. If it is working, if it is not working, then there are a couple of messages which it came through, and that is where we were discussing about the request timeout, we were discussing about the DNS resolution problem and other stuff, right? So you understand that the source is sending the packet from 192.168.1.1 to the destination 192.168.1.2. That is where it will send the echo request or ICMP request, and then the other one will respond with the echo response or the ICMP response. Okay, it's the same. It's just a different name. Okay? Now let's get into the actual testing of it, and that is where I'll take you to my PC. So I will open the command prompt by typing CMD, and that is where we will start with the request timeout. So let me try to ping an IP address which I'm sure is not available. So I'll ping the 2.2.1 and let's see what we get here. So we are getting a request timeout. That means to say the server is not available, right? And there could be a multiple reason. The server is down, or network reachability problem at their side, right? Or the firewall is in the path, right? Now, further to simulate the request, further to simulate the destination host unreachable, I will try to ping one of the IP address in my network, and that is where 192.168.1 dot. Let me try it then. Yeah. So the above two IP address was available and was reachable. However, this IP address is not available in the network. Since it is within the same network, it tried to do the looking into the same network, and that says that there is no route itself on the system to find out this one, since this is within the same segment, right? So it need to get the complete up. That is why it is saying the destination host unreachable, right? So let's look for the DNS issue, and for that DNS issue, I will try to ping an domain name or the website which is not available. That means you see wrong website, right? You see that the why what the error message will come. So I'll ping the ebcd.com, and that is where I'm getting the message saying that ping request could not find the host abcd.com. Please check the name and try again. That means to say either the domain name which you are trying to ping is incorrect, or the DNS is not reachable. In my scenario, I'm just pinging it the wrong domain name. That is the reason it is not the DNS problem, but DNS doesn't have a record for this thing. Just take in that example, okay. XE problem. And that is where I will ping the google.com. Let me first do the ping. And that is where, if you see, there are a couple of options which we can use to ping with the specified host until it's spread. So that is where, if you want to do the continuous ping, you can use the -t, E for resolution, N for count, L for size, F for don't fragment, I for TTL value. So I will use the I for TTL value. So I'll ping the google.com with -I saying ping with the 5 packet. 5 TTL value, right? So the packet time to live is being set as a 5, and that is where we are seeing that the TTL value is expired in the transit on this host, right? So before it reached to the destination, this packet has been expired, right? Now, what we will do is that we will further, continue on the working one. So before working one, I'll start the Wireshark to show you. Let me do that. Capture, and let me filter the ICMP only. And I will go here and we'll do ping 8.8.8, right? And that is where you see that there are 5 packets are being sent, sorry, 4 packets are being sent uh, to the 8.8.8 with the byte of 32, with the what the latency we are getting is the 31 millisecond for this packet, but we will look for the average one. Average one comes as a 30 millisecond, and time to live is the 118, right? So that is where you can see the 0% packet loss. So you specifically got that how much packet loss you have basis on that number of the packet you send versus the receive. And then of course you got the latency, which tell you that how much time it took to reach to the destination from the source and returning back to the source, right? So this is the latency in a millisecond. Now, if you look on the packet side of it, we have the ICMP request, right? That is being sent by the 192.168.1.48, which is the IP address of my PC, to the 8.8.8, with the ICMP request being sent, and then it is getting the ICMP reply, right? So ping request, if you look here, and that is where you see the echo request, echo reply, right? And you can open the ICMP packet, And that is where you can see what is happening, right? So you can get the detail of that. Now, similarly, 8.8.8 respond back to this guy, and that is how the packets are moving, right? So you can see that so send the request, and then it got the reply, request, reply, request, reply, and so on, right? So that is how the ICMP does work, right? So we understood that how the ping does work. Thank you for watching. We hope you found this video on ping informative and helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel to stay up to date with our latest content. We also love hearing from our viewers, so please leave a comment below with your thoughts or any question you may have. And finally, if you found this video valuable, please share it with your friends and colleagues. Your support helps us to creating a highly informative video like this. Thank you again for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you.